Perhaps you, watching this afternoon, may have heard from your parents or maybe your grandparents about the most exciting Labor Day ever here on Delmarva. Possibly you were even there for the festivities.
Well, if you were, it was 1938. You were probably wearing diapers, maybe in a baby carriage. Anyway, Jim Duffy of Secrets of the Eastern Shore is here to tell us about that Memorial Labor Day 1938. So welcome. And
good afternoon.
Good to see you.
Why was it so special?
3 words.
3 words.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Oh.
So his boat, the presidential yacht, pulled into Crisfield on the morning of Labor Day in 1938, at which point he did a little ceremony in Crisfield, and then he got in a car and did like a 200-mile circuit all along the back roads of the Delmarva Peninsula. Nothing's happened like that. Nothing happened before, and nothing really has happened since. So this presidential motorcade just rode along all our roads, big towns, Berlin, Pocomoke City, but all kinds of little towns, Parsonsburg and Willards and Mardella, and I don't know. There's like 20 different towns that he rode through.
Wow.
Yeah, it ended up in Denton. He gave a big speech in Denton at the end of the day.
So backing up, though, what happened in Crisfield?
Yeah, Crisfield. So, you know, we all think like we live in this time where like our politics are different and they've never been like this before. What was going on in 1938 was exactly like what is happening today. Okay. So you know how there are like Democrats who aren't Democratic enough for the hardcore Democrats, and there are Republicans who aren't Republican enough for the hard, and everybody hates the right. That's what was going on. We had a senator named Millard Tydings. His name is now on the bridge that goes over I-95 over the Susquehanna. Right. Yeah, that's the Tydings Bridge. So he was our senator, and he wasn't Democratic enough for Franklin Delano Roosevelt and his fans. Okay. So they put up another candidate to try and knock him out. This was actually when Roosevelt decided to come to Delmarva to promote this other candidate that they put up against Tydings, who would lose in a landslide, because Tydings was very popular. Yeah. That was very controversial because it was like he was coming in as an outsider to tell local people how to vote. So it's another thing, like we think, oh, politicians are like violating the norms of the way things used to be. Yeah. They were violating a different set of norms, but he was violating the norms then. So a lot of people were really angry at Roosevelt for doing this. And one of them was the mayor of Crisfield, a guy named Ward, who pointedly issued a statement declining to meet the President of the United States. Said, I would meet him if he was coming as president, but I'm not meeting him if he's coming as a politician.
So was the whole thing
political?
There were
Tidings signs in the Crisfield Harbor when he arrived, and there's big, like, don't let outsiders tell us what to do signs. There were Tidings signs all along the route. It was very contentious.
So was the whole thing here political?
No,
it was all...
There was also lots of beautiful stuff that happened that day because everybody on the peninsula came out. The president's it never happened before, never happened since, right? So all the Boy Scout troops, the kids got off of school. Labor Day wasn't a school holiday yet. The kids got off of school. There were all kinds of sweet scenes, like an old lady wrapped in an American flag. And my favorite is the guy who came out, came running out of his front door when the president was coming by with a face full of shaving lather and a razor in one hand while he was waving at the president going by. Carpenters up on roofs would stop hammering and wave at the president. All these little towns, marching bands came out and they led the motorcade in, and the president would come out and say a few words and do everything.
It was just a good old-fashioned good time.
And it all ended up in Denton.
And it all ended up in Denton, where he gave kind of a boring speech. But there was one newspaper reporter who said at the end of the speech, it didn't matter if you had a Tidings button on or a Roosevelt button on. Those little babies we mentioned at the beginning, everybody lifted up their baby to make sure. And the newspaper reporter predicted that those babies were going to hear about you were there for this day for the rest of your life.
Goodness
Jim Duffy, Secrets of the Eastern Shore. Thank you. That's a great one.
Good talking to you.